I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me.
Mike Tyson fans, welcome back. Prime Iron Mike Tyson. Once a force inside the boxing ring to be reckoned with, one of the scariest and heaviest punchers the heavyweight division has ever seen. The youngest heavyweight champion of all time.
Changed heavyweight boxing.
Mike Tyson is the man. I mean, heavyweight champ.
He was just a juggernaut. Just you couldn't stop him.
Mike can end a fight in the blink of an eye, and one solid punch is all it takes for Tyson to knock you out.
Mike hits really, really hard, superhuman-like hard.
He just stalked people down and smashed them. I put that Mike Tyson up against anybody who ever lived. That guy was a special fighter.
But was Prime Mike Tyson really invincible? How good was Prime Mike Tyson? And when were the times that Mike actually got into trouble inside the boxing ring? When we say prime years for an athlete, it refers to the years where they perform the best, the years when they are at their peak, in the height of their careers. Most athletes have these peak years in the middle of their careers. They have gathered valuable experience and incorporated into their performances. But that is not the case for the Prime Mike Tyson. Why? Because Mike Tyson's prime started as soon as he stepped foot in a professional boxing ring.
As close as I get to the ring, I'm more confident. Once I'm in the ring, I'm a god. No one could beat me.
In his prime, there was nothing like him.
Mike Tyson prime was not the same as other athletes. Other athletes' primes are when their bodies perform at their best. But for Mike, his prime was whenever he had no distractions.
Physical part of boxing is so minor that most people would never believe it or accept it. Because in my opinion, the mind and emotions are about 75% of boxing.
And in the midst of his young career, Mike was solely focused on winning a boxing match, to outlast his opponent and to get that prestigious world heavyweight title. Mike Tyson, in the earliest stages of his career, was a beast.
I call him Mike Nightmare Tyson. That guy was a nightmare in the ring. If he missed you with his left, then miss you with his right, he'd bite you.
At 18 years old, Mike Tyson was brimming with confidence, holding all the knowledge he got from his legendary trainer, Customato.
He was everything. He was my mother, my father, my psychiatrist, my babysitter. He just wore so many different hats, you know? He was everything.
With me, the guy comes to me with a spark. I fan the spark until it becomes a flame. I feed the flame until it becomes a fire. Then I feed the fire until it becomes a roaring blaze. That's what I have to do. Keep the head down when you come up with the age. Keep your head down. Yeah, I mean, it's not coming up, but it's starting to come up. To make it perfect. It's good, it's not perfect.
And no one really knows Mike Tyson. Nobody's really friendly with Mike Tyson, except Customato.
On March 6, 1985, Mike Tyson made his professional debut against Hector Mercedes. The young Tyson swiftly dismantled his opponent in the first round with heavy punches to the core as Tyson got his first ever professional boxing victory. But this was just a glimpse into the greatness of the emerging Iron Mike Tyson. In his first 19 fights, Mike Tyson went 19-0, and the ridiculous thing about that is that in his first 19 fights, all of them ended in knockouts, and a whopping 12 of them came from the very first round.
You'd pay to see his fights just to watch him somebody up. It wasn't a fight, it was an execution. You would watch him execute guys. He was the man.
I'm facing reality, and I'm not, in the locker room thinking about, oh man, this guy's a killer, else post this happened or this happened, else I'm gonna do this. Well, as soon as I get in the ring, it's a whole different story. I'm the killer then.
At age 19 alone, he fought 18 different boxers and defeated all of them quite comfortably. Mike, early in his career, was an aggressive counterpuncher, and not a lot of people give him the credit he deserves for it. This is all thanks to the peekaboo style instilled in him by his trainer and fatherly figure he didn't have in his life, Customato. Peekaboo is a counterpunching style that emphasizes airtight defense as a fighter encroaches on an opponent's space. Basically, Tyson keeps his hands in front of his face and moves quickly inside the boxing ring, using his impeccable agility and combining it with deadly counters to make his defense almost impenetrable.
Put your hand in here and bring the same hand. When he hits here, he's liable to bring it down. Even if he's liable to bring it down, bang, over here. Bang, with the left hook here or here.
I really admired Mike Tyson. He wasn't that tall, that big, but he could hit you quick, real quick, and his footwork was outstanding as well.
However, after being a quickly rising superstar and making his name among the ranks of the heavyweights, Iron Mike Tyson ran into his first bit of trouble, and his knockout reign came to an end after 19 fights. On May 3, 1986, Mike Tyson faced the former heavyweight contender James Tillis, a 28-year-old heavyweight boxer who was fighting for his name to be known in the boxing industry. Tillis was a heavy underdog coming into the fight, having lost 4 of his previous 5 bouts. But Tillis came motivated for this bout, weighing his lightest in 2 years at just 215 pounds. Some predicted that it would be an easy win for Mike, another knockout victory. But Tillis stood his ground and was landing pretty heavy shots on Tyson. Mike gave Tillis heavy counterpunches, but Tillis was not willing to back down. In round 4, however, Tyson caught Tillis with a left hand that scored a flash knockdown, sending Tillis to the mat. After that knockdown, the fight went back and forth, and Tillis scored some rounds as he matched Tyson's aggression and gave him a solid combination. For the first time in Mike Tyson's career, the fight went the distance, but Tyson still won, edging out Tillis via unanimous decision to extend his winning streak to 20. This was the first time Iron Mike got into trouble putting his opponent to sleep. Just 2 weeks after a grueling fight, Mike Tyson once again fought inside the ring, this time against the vicious Mitch Green, who became a fierce rival of Mike's even outside the ring. He had 1 loss in his career and was 1 spot higher than Tyson in the WBC heavyweight rankings at the time. Tyson was in control for most of the fight, but was unable to score a knockdown over his street gang opponent. Green tried to clinch Tyson on a regular basis to contain Tyson's explosive power, and Green offered very little offensively as Tyson was able to win a lopsided unanimous decision. Mike was still unbeaten at 21-0. After the Mitch Green fight, Tyson continued to rise the ranks of the heavyweights as he went back to his old ways and knocked out his next 6 opponents. With a second-round victory on September 6, 1986, Tyson was granted a title shot against Trevor Berg at age 20. At the time, Trevor Berg was the biggest hurdle Mike Tyson had ever faced. Tyson is 27-0 with 25 knockouts under his belt. Trevor Berg, however, just became a champion, having his first defense against Mike Tyson. Berg was 13 years older than Mike, who aspired to be the youngest heavyweight champion of all time at age 20. From the moment the bell rang, Tyson looked like a different beast. He dominated Berg, hammering him with several powerful punches. Towards the end of the first round, Tyson hit Berg with a 4-punch combination that sent Berg across the ring. Even though Berg managed to stay on his feet, he got mauled until the bell sounded. In the second round, Tyson landed a nasty combination that dropped the champion. After Berg slowly got up, Tyson relentlessly continued his barrage and finally ended the fight by hitting Berg with a right to the body that followed by a left hook to the head. Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion of all time at age 20, reaching the pinnacle of his already illustrious career, and told his manager after the fight that he was the youngest heavyweight boxing champion in history and that he was also going to be the oldest.
And my mother told me one day, she don't like boxing, but she said, you know, it's horrible and I don't like it, but whatever you want to do, just be the best of it. And that's how it's gonna be.
You're the best fighter in the world. What could he possibly be afraid of then, too?
He was king of the world. He was in his 20s. He was buck wild, just going crazy, flatlining people. Everywhere he went, people would throw rose petals at his feet and screaming, cheering fans.
Mike Tyson was unstoppable, defending his belt effortlessly against all the big names in business. Scoring 7 knockouts in his next 9 fights, Mike Tyson was a bona fide superstar. He is in the midst of his prime, and some have considered him the best heavyweight fighter of all time.
And here comes Mike Tyson now, and as usual, he is all business, draped in the 3 belts that he now owns.
After 37 fights, Mike Tyson was still unbeatable. But as he headed to his 38th round, there was a fighter who wanted to stop him in his tracks. A name that haunted Mike for a very long time, Buster Douglas. Going into the fight, Mike Tyson was the undefeated and undisputed heavyweight champion. He held the WBC, WBA, and IBF titles. Meanwhile, the contender, Buster Douglas, was only ranked as the number 7 heavyweight by Ring magazine and had mixed success in the boxing ring. Many experts expected to see yet another 90-second annihilation coming from Mike. But little did they know, Buster Douglas would shock the world, as 23 days before the Tyson fight, Buster's mother died at 46 years old, and nobody knew that before she died, she told him that he would beat Mike Tyson and become the heavyweight champion of the world. Early in the fight, it was apparent that Buster Douglas was not afraid of Mike Tyson. His game plan against Mike worked early, as he let punches fly whenever he saw the opportunity to attack Tyson. And when Tyson used his signature peekaboo style of boxing, he quickly tied him up and moved away immediately. It was a rough fight, a close one, with Douglas having the slight edge coming into the 5th and 6th rounds. Douglas's dominance with the jab and right hand caught Tyson off guard, and in the last seconds of the 8th round, Tyson, who had been backed onto the ropes, landed an equalizer against Douglas as he connected with a big uppercut that sent Douglas to the canvas. Tyson continued his aggressiveness in the 9th and 10th round, hoping to knock out Douglas. As Tyson advanced, Douglas connected with a powerful uppercut that snapped Tyson's head upward, stopping Tyson in his tracks. Douglas immediately followed it with 4 solid punches in the head, knocking Tyson out for the first time in his career. Tyson fumbled for his mouthpiece in the canvas as he attempted to get back to his feet, but it was too late. He did not beat the count as Douglas overcame the odds and became the undisputed champion. The whole boxing world was shocked. Mike just tasted his first ever taste of defeat in what some might consider the greatest upset in boxing history. Tyson, however, won his next 4 bouts, but was convicted in 1992 of sexual harassment against Desiree Washington and sentenced to 6 years in prison.
He's the biggest money fighter in the world, but he's falling apart.
He's a common criminal who's getting what he deserves. He's finished, washed up, deserves to be.
I think that Mike Tyson had a horrible defense. The woman was dancing at 8 o'clock and this guy's in jail for 6 years. I don't understand it.
After his sentence in prison, he went back to boxing and actually won his 4 bouts via knockout. But he got stopped once again by premier heavyweight Evander Holyfield, in which the infamous ear-biting incident occurred. After that, Tyson's career went spiraling downward, as he only won 5 out of his next 10 bouts.
I don't think I have it anymore because I got the ability to stay in shape, but I don't got the fighting guts, I don't think, anymore. I'm just sorry I let everybody down. I just don't have this in my heart anymore.
It is safe to say that before that Buster Douglas loss, Mike Tyson was in his prime. But unfortunately, at the height of his legendary career, he got knocked down by the most unlikely opponent. So was Mike Tyson really invincible during his prime? Did Mike get too comfortable in his own ability that he stopped training so hard compared to before he was champion? Or did Buster Douglas's style suit fighting against Mike Tyson's? It's all up for debate, but one thing everyone can agree on is that Mike Tyson gave us all a motivational story that can inspire anybody to achieve their greatest potential in any aspect of their life.